Hey, it's Lulama Anderson and welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I know it's been a while since I uploaded a solid video, because the last time I uploaded a video was me actually buying this equipment, because the plan was I was going to do a mini podcast thingy. I wish I could show you the studio and what's happening, but it's a really decent setup, So, but I haven't been uploading, which is really shameful. If you've noticed how long it's been, you're a true fan. I like you, dog. So, but anyways, let me not explain a lot. Let me just get into today's topic, Afriforum. I've been meaning to talk about this topic, and it's a shame I won't be really editing this, because I just wanted to get the ball rolling on me uploading more content. So I might not edit this. So anyways, Afriforum. I've been seeing a lot of tweets, on Twitter. People talking about, oh, Afriforum is doing a great job. Afriforum is building. If you were to give Afriforum money and you were to give our local politicians money, Afriforum will get the job done. Man, it's pretty bad. But before I continue, let me explain who Afriforum is for those who don't know. Afriforum is an Afrikaaner, because they don't want to call them a white group, right? Afrikaaner Boer group. They gather themselves. It's an organization. So basically they have like 300,000 members, if I'm not mistaken. So 300,000 members. So they get a lot of job done. So I have to admit, obviously, as myself, and I don't want to call them like a white supremacist group. Let me just say suspected white supremacist group, because like if you're saying Afrikaner guy, like it's obvious. We know what you're doing. All right. So this suspected white supremacist group, they do a lot of things for their people, which is not, commendable, but we know from history, as soon as Boer Afrikaner people separate themselves, you know what happens to black people. And there are also arguments that, okay, the Afrikaner government was doing a good job. The previous government, the apartheid government, man, they're saying that they were doing a good job. I mean, they were doing a good job for white people, not for black people. Like, and it's a shameful thing, because you see this from black people. They're saying Afriforum is doing a good job. They're helping their own people. What do you expect? Do you think Afriforum would actually help you as a black person? I mean, what's the point if you're a group of people, right? Whether maybe you're Venda, Zulu, or whatever, but you're only doing things for your people. That's not commendable in any way. There's no society that can thrive without having other people to join that society. There's no society that can survive as a monolith. And I think white supremacy has proven that, right? Because think about Japan. Japan is like the epitome of a society that most white supremacists would like to live in. Japan is super racist, and even white people know that. Super racist and monolith is mostly Japanese people. And the disadvantage with that is that, okay, if let's take your group has a messed up mentality, the whole country is messed up, because your whole country thinking alike. If you're having, deformities or any kind of sickness that's involved in your monolithic society, or maybe it's Onga Zulu or whatever, it means that sickness will run rampant. If that society is allergic to something, everyone is allergic to it, which is not really good. I've made this example many times, because if you have a diverse amount of people in society, if one society lacks, another will take over, right? If maybe you have like 4 groups of people, maybe you have, let's take races, for example. You have black people, you have white people, you have Chinese people, or maybe Asians and Indians, right? So Indians and Chinese people. So if you have those people, maybe the white people are lacking, maybe they are criminals, most of them. Maybe they like crime. That's just an example. No one likes crime, of course. So they like crime. So you'll have other societies maybe will take their place. If maybe this society is full of corruption, maybe, for example, maybe the Indians are super corrupt, maybe we can have other people who have a different mentality from them to take over. So that's the thing. That's the dangerous thing about Afriforum, because now they'll be having a hive mind. So anything negative they think in that society, that whole society will think negatively. There won't be any pushback. Trust me, if you're in Afriforum, you have to think the way they think. If you want to be an outlier and say, no, what if we actually do good things for black people as well? They're like, nah, man, we're only doing it for bored people. And there's even other content creators. I won't speak badly about them. Penal the Black Pen, I'm sure most of you know him. He says he wants to join Afriforum. He's non-racialist, which is dangerous, because he might be a non-racialist, but other ethnicities are not non-racialist. They actually recognize that they are white, Indian, or whatever. So as a black person, if you're saying you're non-racialist, it might be a bit dangerous. But I don't want to get into it that much. But what I really want to emphasize is that we shouldn't be caught up in the whole thing that Afriforum, since they're doing good for their own people, we should be inspired by them. I mean, being inspired by suspected white supremacists is as good as being inspired by a suspected murderer. I mean, it's the same thing. If maybe you find out maybe someone might have done or is doing horrendous thing, or they're discriminating against other people, why would you be inspired by that? I mean, there's nothing that's built on hate that's going to sustain itself. Nothing. Everything that you build in peace with other people will always sustain itself. I'll make an example, right? There's a group in America, it's FBA, right? Foundational Black Americans, that they're descendants of slaves in America, right? The USA. So basically, there's a content creator, Tariq Nasheed. He calls out a lot of Africans. You know, if maybe you're an African, you're talking bad things about FBA, Foundational Black Americans, he'll totally call you out. And that's commendable, but the way he does it is like he has like a personal vendetta against African people, right? And what happened was his group, FBA, Foundational Black Americans, not really a group, but it's like a lineage, right? So they have fights amongst each other. Like there's B1, there's someone, what about the culture or whatever, and there's also FBA. So when you're having these people, because he's been pushing a message, oh man, we are tethers. Like if you're an African person, you go to America, you're a tether, right? You're trying to replace them. That's what they're saying. It's sort of like white supremacy, the replacement theory, right? It's pretty crazy if you come to think about it. So there's nothing good that's going to be built on hate, because even them, they're fighting amongst themselves. So now, if we come back to South Africa, Afriforum, you think you can join Afriforum as a black person, you're certainly mistaken, unless you are like super hardcore, like you're obsessed with boards, like you see yourself as a black board, basically, then they might accommodate you. But Africans, black people, we should stop that. We shouldn't really be inspired by, suspected white supremacists. There are black people who are doing good things. And you might take it for a mistake, because think about it. You might think that your politicians are corrupt, right? They are the most corrupt in the world, especially South Africans. We think that our politicians are the most corrupt. But if you come to think about it, in America, they do lobbying. Lobbying is basically legalized bribing. So you can bribe a politician, but it's called lobbying. So you can lobby. So you don't say, we lobbied for this. So basically they bribe for that. So they legalize their crimes, right? So, but obviously we can't do that. We need to call out our own, but we not need to act like, okay, South Africa is the epitome of corruption. There's a lot of corruption out there, but we need to deal with it, of course. But we shouldn't say, oh no, we need to give money to suspected white supremacists. Man, I'd rather have a black person spend that money in his own thing that give it to maybe a suspected white supremacist. And maybe they might even benefit their own people. I'd rather spend on a black person, right? Even if they are corrupt. I'm that kind of person. Maybe that's why they call me a black supremacist. But there is no such a thing, of course. There can't be two supremes. But anyways, that's basically the video. I just wanted to put it out there. But let's stop supporting Afriforum, guys. Like, there's a lot of people that can inspire us. There's, Petrus Mutsubi, even though he's a politician. But there's a lot of inspiration. Or you can even inspire yourself. You go out there and do the work. Why do you have to be inspired by someone else? Do the work for your community. If you want to install solar panels like they did in Orania, also do that. But anyways, if you like the video, slap a like on it, subscribe, everything. Anyways, for now, sharp.